Clara is such a good woman. I mean, after all the insults and abuse, Jonathan rains on Clara at every given opportunity that he has. Clara still chooses to help Jonathan with 50,000 naira to support him. At this point, Jonathan will forever regret his action towards Clara. He will regret ever asking Clara to leave the house. Adino always come at the end of everything. No wonder they say you don't value what you have until you lose it. Jonathan now understands the importance of Clara in his life. That is why I keep on saying that Clara made the best choice by leaving the house for Jonathan. At least Jonathan has been able to understand or to know that Clara was really doing a lot to help this family. Indeed, we are very happy for the kind of woman that Clara has become. She is now patient to be able to ask questions before acting, which is very, very commendable. The fact that Emeka is not willing to stop all these things is what is troubling us. I mean, Emeka has done a lot to Jonathan. Why don't you just leave the young man? But he still feels that he's not going to stop until he sees Jonathan drop his last breath. What kind of wickedness is this? It feels so emotional when Jonathan saw the money that Clara gave him. You know, Clara just put that money in his pocket without his consent. And now that he's about to sell his phone just so that he can be able to get money to feed his family, he found the money. And you can see how emotional Jonathan is. Just the way Benny was when she was confronting the dad, asking the dad if he was the one that actually paid somebody to send her nude pictures to the public domain. It is crazy that all this is happening to Jonathan almost at the same time. Jonathan has learned his lesson. At this point, there is nothing anybody will say against Clara that is going to be in support of. Jonathan will never do anything to hurt Clara again after this particular thing that Clara has done for Jonathan. Hans came to visit Jonathan and a lot happened in Jonathan's house. The one thing that I want Hans to do is to take it easy. He's just acting on this information that his private investigator gave him without even making his own findings to know if Jonathan is truly behind this. Because how can Jonathan want to, pay somebody to send his own daughter's naked pictures to the public? How would he do that? And then he will go there and tell the person that his name is Jonathan and he's the father of the child. I mean, think about this whole thing. But Jonathan was surprised that Hans came to his house and the first thing that Hans did was to punch him in the face. The question is, what is Hans really doing right now? Truth is, Jonathan does not have money. If not, Jonathan would have called the police on Hans because this is a very wrong move. Even if Jonathan was even behind this whole thing, would you just come to his house to pick up a fight with him? Wouldn't you do the thing in a legal way? You would have gone to the police to report this, not coming to Jonathan's house to fight him. But on the other hand, Jonathan is a very strong man who is always willing to defend himself. He was ready to fight Hans and make sure he breaks Hans down. But then Hans' bodyguard would not let Jonathan to go close to Hans. Instead, he was begging him to please stop this whole thing and let them do it the right way. When Hans got back home, the mother was so angry with him. I told you to leave that family alone. I mean, look at yourself. You are doing too much right now. You don't need to do that. Hans told the mother that he's not going to stay away from that family. As long as Clara is there and Clara's daughter is also there, he is going to fight to make sure that he protects them. Now, this is a proof that Hans is still much in love with Clara. But the mother only wants Hans to be very careful because there is a way Hans will go over this whole thing and he will get himself into another trouble, which is exactly what the mother is trying so much to avoid. But Hans is somehow blinded by the love that he has for Clara. Clara saw Debbie coming into her restaurant and the first question was, what are you doing in my restaurant? How dare you come to my restaurant without my permission? You are not welcome here. But Debbie was saying things that are, even, good enough to Clara at this moment. Why telling Clara that she abandoned her family, whereas it was her husband that told her to leave, including her own child, asked Clara to leave the house. What do you want from Clara? And Clara said, I don't care about what you are here to see. What really happened? And Debbie started narrating the story of how Hans came to Jonathan's house to pick up a fight with him because he's accusing Jonathan of being the one that paid somebody to send the daughter's pictures, to the public domain, which is very crazy because first, Jonathan does not even have money to pay anybody. Jonathan is looking for money to at least get food for himself and the family. How would he have money to go and pay somebody to do that to the daughter? All in the name of what? Teaching the daughter a lesson. For what reason? But then Clara at this point defended Jonathan. That Jonathan can be harmful. He can be doing a lot of things, stupid things, but Jonathan cannot do something like that. But then Debbie said that the reason why Hans is doing all of these things to Jonathan is because Clara is giving him the go ahead. Clara is always standing for Hans. That is why Hans is having that opportunity to do that to Jonathan, expecting Clara to actually respond. But what Clara said is, I'm going to find out the reason why Hans did that or why Jonathan will possibly do that. Clara has surprised Debbie because her response is not what Debbie was actually looking for. She was expecting Clara to start shouting. She was expecting Clara to react, but unfortunately for Debbie, Clara chose to be very calm. Now, Clara went to meet up with Hans to find out if what every other person was saying is true. And then Hans asked Clara, have you come to fight me because I fought your husband? But Clara, on the other hand, said, I am only here to find out what truly happened. I am not here to fight you. Which means that this is a new Clara. This is a new Clara because the Clara that we know will walk into this office and start picking up a fight with Hans. But rather, she's very calm. And Hans told Clara that I have a private investigator and I only attack your husband because of the information that I got from him. And while he was trying to say all of this, Clara now said to him, it cannot be Jonathan. I trust Jonathan. Jonathan cannot do this to his daughter. Jonathan can be a very stupid person, but he cannot do this. I mean, come to think of it. How can Jonathan go to meet somebody and tell the person that his name is Jonathan and he wants him to send his daughter nude pictures to the public domain? I don't understand. Is he that stupid and naive? And Hans began to see reasons and, some good things in what Clara was saying, because no man will want to implicate himself with that kind of crime because everything will be traced back to him. He will not dare do that to himself. And then Hans told Clara, if Jonathan truly did not do this, then the both of you need to be very, very careful, because it only means that the person that is behind this, who is bent on destroying your daughter's life, is very, very close to you. But what I cannot figure out right now is the fact that they said he's a man. If it was a woman, I would have said it's actually Debbie that did that. But they said it's a man. So I don't know right now. The thing is, Clara does not know the friendship that Jonathan has with Emeka. That is why she cannot really figure out that Emeka is truly behind all of these things that is happening. While Emeka met Debbie and they were having their private discussion as the two evil people that are bent on destroying Jonathan and Clara, Debbie told Emeka, you have done enough. You have done enough. Let us hold it here. But Emeka was rather interested in the response of Clara. When Debbie told Emeka that the response that Clara gave at this point is not what she was expecting, Emeka told her that Clara must have learned a lot from life. Life must have taught Clara a lesson. That is why she has changed. But all things being equal, at least they have actually sent a message in that regard. When Debbie asked, when are you going to stop? A lot of damage has been done. Emeka said he's not going to stop. That is not going to stop until he sees the last drop of Jonathan. How can you be this wicked that you want your friend to die before you will rest? That is not right. The question is, what has Emeka, what has Jonathan even done to you to deserve you treating him this way? He does not owe you the obligation of taking care of your mother, even though he would have been a good friend by helping you to at least pay for your mother's hospital bills. Is that the reason why you want to kill somebody for no reason? But then, why Jonathan was just walking on the street, he saw the young man that Emeka used in duping him. But why he chased the young man ran off, but Jonathan could not hold him anymore. And why he was so frustrated on the street, thinking of how he's going to do or what to do to that man if he eventually catches him. Clara was just driving past and asked him, Jonathan, Jonathan, where are you going? Come, let me take you home. Let me give you a ride, at least now that you don't have a car anymore. But instead of Jonathan to be very calm with Clara, Jonathan started saying a lot of awful things. Do you want to insult me? Do you want to pick me up so that at least you have reasons to insult me? But this is not the kind of person that Clara is. Clara is somebody that loves Jonathan so much. Clara is somebody that is family oriented. She's not that kind of woman. But Jonathan instead walked into the car when Clara was about to drive off. And when she got into the car, he started arguing with Clara, up to a point that they started, rendering curses among themselves. And Clara said, you know what, get out of my car right now. She stopped and chased Jonathan out of his car. Then Jonathan was surprised that Clara could do this to him. When Jonathan got back to the house, the daughter was really, really, waiting for Jonathan. She was so sad that the father could actually do this to her. And she confronted the father and said, Dad, is it true that you pay somebody to do this to me, your daughter? And Jonathan at this point was heartbroken that even the daughter at some point is almost believing that he did this to her. And Jonathan said, I might not be the best father. At this point, I felt so emotional in fact, I feel so sorry for Jonathan. I might not be the best father. I might not have treated you or given you the best life that a father could give to their children. But thinking that I can do this to you hurts me because you are my life. I cannot hurt my life. Oh, I feel so sorry when Jonathan began to say things like this. I cannot hurt my life. That is the truth. I cannot hurt my life. So whenever you are having the thought that I did that to you, always know that you are my life and I cannot hurt you. All right. So that is it. Jonathan got to the room and was crying and begging God, please, this suffer is a lot for me. I have suffered enough. Please change my story. Please help me. Anywhere I've made mistake, I am sorry. I just need you to help me. This is what happened when somebody is frustrated. Right now, Jonathan does not have anything to do. He is so frustrated. But then Hans was actually complaining to the mother and was explaining to the mother about everything. And the mother was very happy that Clara has actually changed, because the Clara they know would have come to fight with Hans, but rather she is now very calm, defending the husband. And the mother was very happy because other women out there will not say good things about their husband when they eventually get a divorce. Even if the man happens to be a good man, the woman will never say good things about the man in public. But then Clara is a different person entirely. She's quite the opposite, because Jonathan has been very, very bad to Clara. But instead of Clara to say awful things about Jonathan, she keeps on defending Jonathan even in his absence. That is to show you the kind of love that Clara has for Jonathan. She was very much impressed, right? She was very, very much impressed that Clara is doing the right thing, which is very true. Why Jonathan came out and asked if there was food in the house to eat, but truly there was no food at home to eat. In fact, they could not even have food to eat last night, right? Jonathan was so confused. And then Teresa started, Jonathan, what kind of a man are you? What kind of a man are you that cannot provide for his family? I mean, we don't have food to eat, nothing in this house, all right? But there was something that Benny was doing, which is a little bit, true. And Benny said to Madame Teresa, you are the reason why all this thing is happening to my dad. You are an extra mouth in this house. If not, my father will not be in this position. You supported him when he was maltreating my mom. You are the reason why my mom left this house. Now we are suffering. If my mom was here, we will have food to eat. And Teresa had to make it clear that Benny was one of the reasons why the mother left. Jonathan was the one that sent Clara out of this house. The only thing that she was doing was to tell the sister to respect the husband, regardless of the fact that he does not have money. Even at that, Jonathan is still the husband. So she needs, or it is her duty to respect the husband. And that is the only thing that she was trying so hard to achieve. All right. And after everything, Jonathan could not hold it anymore. He ran into the room and was crying. He was asking himself, what is happening? I have two phones. I think I need to sell this phone so that I can make money for myself. And then why he came up with that idea of selling the phone, he was contemplating. I bought then again, I need to use this phone to search for jobs online if I can get so I can take care of my family. But I cannot allow my daughter to die of hunger. Jonathan came to the conclusion that he was going to sell that phone to get to get food for his family. But when he went to carry his clothes, to step out, the money that Clara put in his pocket fell off, and he was so shocked. Then he remembered that when Clara told him to leave his car, he came back direct, which means that Clara actually put money in his pocket. Clara put money in Jonathan's sweater and threw it at him and called him to get out, nonsense man. When he came out, he realized that Clara put money in there. And when he counted the money was 50,000 naira. Imagine somebody that does not have food to eat, that was going to sell his phone just to put food on their table, now suddenly saw 50,000 naira in his pocket. That the same person that he has been raining curse on gave him. And Jonathan started crying. That Clara, you did this 50,000 naira. Even when I am not good to you, you still gave me money. I think Jonathan at this point is real. In fact, regretting all his actions towards Clara. He will always regret it because Clara has always been good to Jonathan, even when Jonathan is not, acknowledging Clara at all. I know that at this point, Jonathan will go to beg Clara to forgive him, at least to accept him back after everything that has happened. Because I mean, who will not apologize? Jonathan will apologize on the next episode, but we'll get to find out about it on the next episode. Please like the video if you have not liked the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll bring the next episode as soon as it's done. But for now, take care.